The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time. 24 minutes to go until the start of trading. And how about markets getting back into the green as we come into the opening bell? So much for a little war risk, war premium, risk premium. None of it right now. You get the S&P's up by 8 points, trading at 6,026. NASDAQ 100. We open lower. Right out of the gate, we trade higher, though. At NASDAQ 100, we're positive by 0.2%, up by 42 points, 21,887. Dow barely in the green by 18 points right now, 42,532. And the Russell slightly in the red, 2117 right now. Bitcoin trades low with the market last night. Doesn't quite get it back. Bitcoin off by 1.7%. Interesting to see that type of dynamic, right? Markets doing well. Bitcoin, no, you're down by almost 2%. Crude. How about crude? No premium whatsoever. Oil infrastructure not hit. Okay, so supply and demand factors. We'll see. Gold, no premium whatsoever. You look at a little sell-off even in the last hour in gold. You were up approaching 3,400. Gold negative by $8 right now in the session. We jumped to notes and bonds, and yeah, you got a little bit of higher price, lower yields. You got the 10-year right now up by 7 ticks. And that's putting the 10-year at 4.35. Okay, 4.35. We put this thing on a daily, and you see the climb as we're climbing up to about that 111.15, 111.20 area. That's been an area of resistance to the upside, but nonetheless, 4.35 right now on the 10-year. And you got dollar strength on the heels of everything going on. Dollar up by 533 ticks. You see the open last night. We trade higher. We're at 99.24. So look at the correlation we have going on here right now. You have lower yield, dollar strength, and that's hurting the gold contract at a time we have lower yield coming into things on top of it. It's going to be an interesting day of trading, man. All right, we'll see where the volumes come in. We take a look at the price and volume on a daily basis. Now, this is the bar that we have going on right now. All right, on Friday, we had quite a volume spike, 1.56 million. Now, you had triple witching on Friday. Okay, you had the weekly, the monthly, and the quarterly options all expiring. But nonetheless, you get a spike to the downside, okay? And yeah, since we've had the spike to the downside, and that was a Friday removed, okay, June 13th, 10 days ago, we had dramatic volume. You get dramatic volume on Friday. We'll see if what the volume holds today, as we got 21 minutes to go until the opening bell. And some of the headlines this morning, you know, this one struck me most of all. Nope, not that one. It was this one. Israel seeks to wrap up conflict with Iran soon. Quite a headline when you look at the context of what's going on, right? We're just going to wrap up the conflict. Boy, I hope so. I hope things just get wrapped up. We've done a lot of things that we need to do, but that's not always how it plays out, right? In terms of striking back, you got the Hormuz Strait out there. Let me see if I can find that one that I got going on. Here it is. Tankers reversing course from the Strait of Hormuz following the U.S. attack on the nuclear site, on Iran's nuclear sites. Okay, that one could cause some problems with crude, so keep your eye. More tankers are reversing course away from that strait as concerns rise over the possible closure of that vital choke point of trade. I think 16 million barrels of crude go through that thing, and they have the specific ships. Okay. Notable event occurred between early Sunday and early Monday when at least 6 vessels, 2 very large crude carriers, 3 chemical tankers, and 1 refined products carrier diverted their courses away from the strait. All the vessels are either empty or carrying light loads as of right now, but they've changed directions. So what happened that had them changing directions, right? Well, we know what happened on Saturday night, but this seems like from a Sunday to a Monday as things ratchet up potentially. And then you have out here, let me find the one of, all right, we'll pull it up because already there's been a couple of Chinese vehicles, ships this is. All right, we'll pull that one up as well. Whew. And yeah, so Saturday night, Trump appears 10 o'clock. And yeah, we're going to see where the day goes, man. But nonetheless, you wake up, S&P's unchanged. How about that? S&P's unchanged. We sent 7 stealth bombers over, 30-hour trip, right, from Missouri to Iran. 30 hours. Can you imagine 30 hours, 7 stealth bombers? They're dropping 14 bunker busters. And the market's like, ho-hum. Ho-hum. Crude market's like, ho-hum. Strait of Hormuz. Tankers turning around. Crude's like, we'll go up 45 pennies. Look at that red bar in the pullback. Now, crude, that's the spike higher this morning, okay? You hit it on Sunday night, 78.40. We back off right where we were. Now, crude does have an elevated premium, okay? Because there's your elevated premium. We were trading at about $65 when this started. We're trading at $74 right now, and there has not been a disruption yet. So that's the thing. We are trading higher on the probability, the risk that there's a disruption in oil. That hasn't happened yet. Even over the weekend, it has not happened. That oil infrastructure did not get taken out. So when you talk about supply and demand, we're still right there. We'll see where we go. And yeah, Fletch posting this one in the den. I was looking at this one right before we got on the air. So this is Novo, okay? But boy, you talk about the story. The story is HIMS, okay? HIMS is down 20% this morning, folks, okay? And that is having to do with Novo accusing them of bad behavior, to put it lightly. Novo exits the HIMS partnership, citing concerns over compounded drugs. The landscape is changing so quickly on this one, okay? But yeah, HIMS is down dramatically. Novo is down about 5% right now. And so they are terminating the recent agreement. They just did this in April, okay? Yeah, because originally HIMS was pushing out the generic drugs when there was a supply shortage of the name brand drugs. Then when there was no longer a shortage, HIMS, here it is, teamed up with Novo in late April to offer its obesity blockbuster Wegovy at a discounted price to patients who use it on the platform. Novo said HIMS is disseminating deceptive marketing that put patient safety at risk. Now, and that's what I talked about. They were, and this is where you got to separate the two here. Compounded medicines are made by pharmacies, and they are allowed in the U.S. to plug the gaps if drugs are in short supply. That's not happening anymore, okay? HIMS had said it planned to offer compounded shots to a limited group of patients who required so-called personalized dosage of the medicine. Novo said HIMS did not adhere to the law prohibiting mass sales of compounded medicines that have been tweaked to be considered personalized. They're just going around the rules. And even Novo, that is some strong language when you look at it. All right, and they sell more than just that one. But boy, how about technically? How's that for a technical top for you? Right back to where we were in May, and then kaboom. We're going to open at $48. Stay tuned, folks. We got a lot to talk about. We'll come right back. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, charts and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps up by 8 right now. NASDAQ 100 up by 37. We jump over to Meta shares, up about $3 to $4 right now. You got a bid-ask right around 686. We closed at 682. We had extreme volume on Friday, though. You were at 700. You traded almost 680. We're trading right now just in the positive on Meta. You jump around. And how about the Journal? Yeah, talking about, and we referenced this last week. So you have Sam Altman coming out, OpenAI, saying Zuckerberg, is trying to pouch their people at $100 million pay packages. What's remarkable is, and I started talking about it last week, okay? And I think I had one of the zeros wrong last week, which is remarkable. But you think about what is at stake for these companies. It is a generational race, man. If you're the first one to be there, like we've been talking about it, right? Google VO3, all this stuff, ChatGPT, etc. You pull it over, okay? And you're talking about right now a company, let's see, where am I? Fundamentals, there we go, that is valued at, let's get it, $1.7 trillion, okay? Not 1.7 million, not 1.7 billion, but $1.7 trillion. You got to add 6 extra zeros on there, okay? And that is akin, just to put in perspective how much money they're playing with, okay? When you think, oh my goodness, $100 million pay packages for talent, right? And this is what you're going to hear a lot about it, okay? Because they have Scale AI in here, right? That they just made into a deal with for, I think it was $14.3 billion. But here's the last part of this, okay? If they're handing out $100 million pay packages for a $1.7 trillion company, if it's that important, okay, that is akin. And this is how it's tough to wrap your brain around what $1.7 trillion is versus $1.7 million is, and here's why. Here's a great example, okay? If you are running a $1.7 trillion company and you give someone a $100 million pay package, do you think they can help you? Well, here's a quick example to demonstrate how little that $100 million means in the grasp of how big of a company you're running, if it matters. That is the same thing as if you are running a $1.7 million company, which is a great company. Who's got a $2 million company out there, right? Whatever, right? Let's just say you have a company that's valued at $1.7 million right now. Nice local company, whatever it is, small business, okay? You want to go out there and sell it. You're making some profits. Maybe you can sell it for $1.7 million. That would be akin to you taking a $100. That's all it is. A $1.7 million company would be handing out $100 bonuses to people. And now you get how little that money is. That's the same thing as running a $1.7 trillion company. You just dropped 6 zeros, folks. You drop 6 zeros off 1.7 trillion, you're at 1.7 million. You drop 6 zeros off 100 million, you're at $100. It would be like somebody running a multi-million-dollar business handing out $100 bonuses, and that's why they're doing it. So that's going to put some perspective into those pay packages. And in AI, if you're at the forefront of that, it's happening. I mean, we saw it happen before with Walmart. Remember Jet.com? What do they pay to get Lore, the CEO over there? Billions of dollars, right, to buy Jet. And it was just basically to get that gentleman to come in and help them. And guess what? You look at the chart of Walmart, man, they are on fire, okay? And a lot of it is process. Look at this equity, man. When did Walmart acquire Jet? Let's see. August of 2016. My goodness, I can't believe it's that long ago. For $3.3 billion. Okay? They acquired them in 2016. They wound it down in 2020. But that was about talent in the same way. Now, I didn't think we were going to have to go back 10 years when I did that, but my goodness. Look at the run, though. Look at the run. It's even better. Didn't even plan it, folks, you know? Look at the run that they had. Yeah, I guess we all should have bought Walmart when they came in and did that. It was August of 2016. You were trading about $24. You're pushing 100, right? You quadruple in share price over the period of 9 years, just like that. And a lot of that is process. And it's really paying dividends right now since COVID, of course, up to $96. Walmart right now, basically flat. All right, so keep your eye on those, man. You're going to keep seeing those coming in terms of, I mean, imagine Walmart was paying those in 2016 dollars. We jump over to Amazon. Amazon trading at 210. Now, Mr. Bezos, he's getting married in Venice this coming week, and they're not happy in Venice about it. And it doesn't take much for people to get upset. I saw this in Mallorca, right? They're upset at the tourists coming from Mallorca. We were just in Mallorca. I was in Mallorca, geez, I say just almost 2 years ago. I can't believe it's almost 2 years ago now. I was in Mallorca, but in Venice, they are not happy. But he's going to be getting married sometime this week. And yeah, Bloomberg had it. And that's, you know, they talked about maybe 200 people here. 200 people, if you can create headlines, you can do anything. Look at this. No space for Bezos is what they put up. Bezos was saying this isn't going to matter in the context of the stock. Bezos' wedding draws protests, soul searching over tourism in Venice. Folks, it's not going anywhere, okay? It's not happening. But nonetheless, yeah, they're going to get married in a 3-day, I don't believe it's only going to cost $10 million bash. And nonetheless, that's going on in Venice. So you'll see some headlines. And yeah, that's why it's not going to end. Tourism brings in $1.5 billion a year, billion dollars a year to the Venetian economy. And that's not talking about the Venetian in Vegas. That's the real Venetian economy. Yeah. Mr. Bezos. Look at this market, man. All right, we jump over to crude this morning. Just trading $74 right now. You jump over to gold right now, negative by $3. We check in on copper. Yeah, just chopping around $4.79 right now. Copper, just pushing this $4.80 price point for a while now. Look at that, right? Just chopping $4.79.9, right at $4.80 for that copper. Jump over to some gold equities. Agnico Eagle, basically flat this morning. I got an article pulled up. We'll talk a little AEM in a little bit. Yeah, it was Mark Lohr, right? Jet.com. He built diapers.com, they built jet.com, and Walmart bought it for billions of dollars. But guess what? That was about e-commerce. That was $3.3 billion back then. I mean, you just saw it with Apple and Johnny Ives. But just remember that example, because when I was talking about it on a while back, I actually made the comparison that it was like giving somebody a $1,000 bonus if you were worth $1.7 million. No, it is like these multi-trillion-dollar companies giving out $100 bonuses if you're worth millions. It'd be like a $2 million company giving somebody a $200 bonus. What does that person have to do for $200 if they're working for a company valued at millions, right? You get it. Same exact thing, just add some zeros. All right, folks, we're coming back for the open. S&P's up by 8, NASDAQ 100 up by 30. Don't go away.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs? Trade wars? Analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
All right, welcome back, folks. And just like that, we roll a little bit red as we come into the opening bell. S&P's flat to the tick. You got to love it, man, right? S&P's positive by 1, NASDAQ 100, barely positive. Dow negative by 45 right now. The Russell negative by 11. And yeah, we got a little bit of selling coming into the opening bell. We jump over to crude right now, trading at $74. We have yields on the higher price, lower yield. We got the 10-year at 4.35 right now. but that's not hurting the dollar, as you got dollar strength right now at 99.27. And that's putting a little bit of weakness into gold, but all things considered, holding up pretty well. 33.87. So you jump over to AEM, okay? AEM. Come on, load for me. Agnico Eagle, okay, one of the strongest gold equities out there. Come on, catch up for me, fundamentals. No, we're not catching. Oh, this market's moving fast right now. Yeah. Keep those fingers quick, folks. You can see it when it's happening. This market's moving quick. We got right across the board right now. We're going to get some volatility today. So AEM, they are a $61.3 billion company. How about that one, right? 503 million shares outstanding. You trade at $121. And yeah, $61.3 billion company. And I bring them up in particular. Now, they have been one of the strongest gold equities, period. Check out this run. From 44 to 121. We're still well within that channel line. Okay, you're in AEM. You can hold it right now. Now, the one thing that's not encouraging is look at the volume drop-off since this acceleration around the 90-day pause, all that stuff going on, okay? It's just less volume on a weekly basis since we've reached 119. We're at 122. But hey, you're in that channel line. You're in the channel line. You set a stop if you're in this equity, if you wrote it up. But nonetheless, I bring them up in particular because there's a great article here on Bloomberg, okay, out this morning. And it's talking about, and I do talk about this, all right, be careful in these gold equities, folks. And the Agnico Eagle CEO, now he's talking his own stock, okay, and I'm not familiar with this gentleman, Amar Al-Jundi. Is that how you pronounce it potentially? Amar Al-Jundi. Jundi? They're Toronto-based, okay. One of the few large cap gold mining stocks outperforming the bullion in the last year, up 84%, while gold added 44. I just showed you the chart. My goodness, okay. Now, you look a little big picture, well above the highs we had in 2007, 2010, even the highs we had in 2020. But I do remind you of the cyclical nature of some of these equities, and this is what they talk about in this article. Now, he's trying to say they stand above the rest, and maybe they do. And guess what? Their chart says they do right now, okay? That is quite a chart. A quarter of the members in the VanEck Gold Miners ETF, okay, have underperformed gold. So you have AEM up 84%, okay? The gold metal is up 44%. 1 out of 4 equities in the VanEck Gold Miners ETF have underperformed the commodity, okay? And why is that? Well, according to the CEO of AEM, dumb deals. And yeah, it usually is, okay? It's a cyclical nature. But guess what? Global mining companies have written down $50 billion in assets since 2013. How about not timing things well, right? You buy an asset and you say, we shouldn't have bought that asset. It's not worth it. We'll just write it down. We'll write it down. $50 billion. If some of us are blowing our brains out, they look at us and they say that's a crappy industry. I'm not even going to look at it. And listen, it is a crappy industry in the long term. The charts say so, okay? In the short term, it is a great trading vehicle. But my dad used to say all the time, you don't hold the equities, man. You hold the metal, you trade the equities. And it's because of the cyclical nature of many of these equities, okay? And yeah, eventually there'll be a pullback, folks, okay? And AEM, just for some heads up here as well, the market's already pricing in. He says the only reason you buy a gold equity is if it's going to outperform the metal. That should be right? That's if you're a gold bull, why are you buying the equity versus buying the metal? You're buying it because you think it's going to outperform the metal. On a longer term basis, that often does not happen. Okay, it can, but it often does not happen. But nonetheless, AEM currently trades at 25 times their earnings. Okay, Newmont, yeah, how about 14 times? Barrick, how about 9 times? You got a lot of optimism in this AEM, man. Be careful in some of these equities when you're trading at 25 times earnings and you have a gold ounce trading at near $3,400 an ounce. Okay, that is priced for perfection almost in this gold market right now, and that's why you have a heck of a run like you do. But yeah, you look at any of these equities, folks, okay? Now, Harmony's not there. Got to find some of the old ones. Look at First Majestic. Now, this is a silver. Look at these. Alamos Gold. The cyclical nature of many of these, folks. New Gold, right? New Gold's on a tear. Okay, you were down to 39 cents. You're up to $12 in 2002. Like you just said, $50 billion in write-down since 2013. Well, look at where the charts were, right? What were these gold equities doing with all those acquisitions back then? So keep your spikes up in this industry, folks, okay? We have many of these equities trading at substantial runs. And yeah, in general, many of those equities end up rolling over. As you get a little bit over your skis, you got to grow, you got to buy assets, you do it at an expensive price, and then you pay for it when the market rolls over. All right, speaking of this market, not rolling over just yet, man. S&P saved itself. We drive down to 6,010. Boom, just like that. We're back to 6 points in the positive. We jump around some other equities. NVIDIA shares, a little volatility this morning, down by about 78 cents. We jump over to Tesla. So, self-driving vehicles are coming, baby. They're coming. Yeah, so Wedbush, they got their outperform on Tesla, $500. Nice round number out there. Very impressive robo-taxi ride in Austin is what Mr. Ives from Wedbush is talking about there. Now, here's the tough part, man. Okay? He's talking about this recently with a friend and on the air. It's what I constantly think about. You're going to need trust in this industry, man. It is a different scenario with all of these deals where you hear about Waymo's got 100,000 vehicles, right? Rides a month, all this stuff. To go from that to go to mainstream, folks, the roads are very dangerous. As this becomes a much more mainstream thing and we have self-driving taxis everywhere, there's going to be horror stories, unfortunately. The roads are very dangerous, okay? And I imagine there's going to be some difficulties there of people wanting to jump into a car when we hear some of the horror stories. Because what happens is the roads are dangerous anyway. We just don't hear about the many, many tragedies that take place on a daily basis. Folks, it's only 365 days a year. And there's like 40,000 people that die every day, every year on our roads. Yeah. So what is that? If it's 365, that's 3,000. Yeah, that's over 100 people a day, every single day on the roads. That is going to be a very difficult one for these companies to navigate as it goes mainstream. And Elon's got quite a task. So keep your spikes up on this one as well as that rolls out, because they got a long way to go, and trust is going to be paramount in making that transition and jumping in a vehicle with no driver. Whether it's safer or not, control is everything. We like control, folks. You got to give up control. And nobody wants to give up control, right? Nonetheless, Tesla up by 3.6%. Markets in the green. Coming back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day, Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. S&P's up by 13, NASDAQ 100 up by 22. You got markets in the positive. We check back in on crude, and crude dissipating as well. So you wake up Monday morning, equities higher, crude lower. Never think you know more than the market, folks, no matter what, right? If I gave you the events of Saturday night, yeah, okay, it doesn't mean that the markets are going to tank and all that stuff goes forward. But yes, you drop to that level. And then, boom, market's in the green. Crude is lower. We got a little dollar strength this morning with the 10-year sitting at about 4.35 right now. You got dollar dropping a bit as yields hold up at about 4.35 right now. All right, we talk a little bit of copper. So this one interesting. Copper. Now, take a look at copper, as I mentioned. Copper's just been chopping around that 480 price point. 482 right now, copper. Catching a little bit of a bid. We jump over to the copper equities. Freeport-McMoRan. It's been on quite a run. From the lows, that's a weekly. You put it on a daily, 27 bucks up to 43. We're backing off a bit right now. That was the volume you had on Friday on Freeport-McMoRan. But yeah, we're talking some copper, and they're talking about the London Metal Exchange, their stockpiles, no, they're depleting. And look for a historic squeeze. Yeah, one of the copper's biggest ever squeezes is unfolding on the London Metal Exchange. Spot copper, $345 a ton premium to 3-month futures. You hear that? Right. This is where things get out of whack, when you get spot premiums, okay? Backwardation, supply shortage, right? Drawdown in inventories. Stockpiles in the warehouses serve as a buffer from manufacturers during periods of strong demand. And guess what? They're running out of supply. And yeah, everybody can use them. Short positions can use them to close out their contracts as well. Backwardations typically indicate that the volume of stock in exchange warehouses is insufficient to meet their demands. Yeah. Inventories down 80% this year. And there's the spike we got going on right now. Aside from the COVID volatility, when everything went a little bonkers, you're going back to 2008, 2005. When you look at that, the cash to 3-month spread is what you're looking at there. Is one of the biggest backwardations ever, and it matches up with some time of turmoil in the past. Yeah. So data. More deeply rooted squeeze is taking hold with movements in key short-term spreads on Monday, indicating the price moves weren't being influenced by any single large trader. Man. On Monday, the next spread would have been capped at 49.72 a ton. Yeah, so check this out. The LME has rules forcing traders with large spot positions to lend them back to the market on a short-term basis at a capped rate. And they kicked in when individual entities, this is amazing, this is how they try and prevent things like this from happening, but eventually the market always wins in terms of where it comes out. And they kicked in when individual entities hold positions and spot contracts are equal to 50% of the available inventories, okay? They compel them to lend their positions back on a one-day basis, okay, starting at 0.5%. On Monday, that would have meant that the next spread would have been capped at about $49.72 a ton. But at that point, the spread spiked to $69 a ton, indicating that the lending provisions were not in effect, as in it was not just one person. Okay, if the lending provisions were in place, it would be big positions. It's not. The pressure is not limited to nearby contracts either, with backwardation seen in key contracts through June of 2026. So with that in mind, right, you look at these copper equities, yeah, you better be careful, man. Copper already looks like it's struggling. I've been talking about in the gold report, $5, $4.80 to $5, this area you've been chopping around. You back this up on a 5-year weekly, that's exactly where you were in 2021. That's where you were in 2022. Okay? But guess what? What if you blow through this, man? That's what I find myself after reading this article. I've been talking about, hey, you're building cause, but boy, I don't see anything in this chart just yet about a potential short squeeze going on right now. We'll see where we go. But nonetheless, jump over Freeport McMoran, as I talked about, a little bit of weakness around $40. You jump over Southern Copper. And this one, look at the volume that we got last week on Southern Copper. It's a great downturn channel in this equity, okay? And you're rolling over the top end. You're looking for some negative action. Southern Copper, that's a weak-looking equity, man. Lower lows, lower highs. You got volume accelerating last week off the top, and you're flat today as the market sits in positive territory. All right, let's jump around to some of the defense stocks. Let me tell you, man, you know, RTX, oof. Amazing. Look at this. No action. It's all priced in. Everything is priced in right now. This thing's already run up. Look at this. So you got Raytheon is flat right now. Northrop Grumman's up by 1%. Look at that. Kratos is another one. They're up by 4.7%. You jump over to Palantir, up by 1.6% right now. Oh boy, just the hearing about this type of stuff. When's the movie coming out, right? I want to see the movie of this one, man. In terms of 7 stealth bombers, right? They got jets in front of them. They got refueling tankers up in the air. You go 30 hours from the middle of the country over to Iran. 7 bombers dropping 14 bunker busters. Take everybody's got strong positions. It's remarkable in terms of what we are capable of right now. You know, everybody's all fired up in the den, man. Listen, we get fired up, all right? Everybody's got strong feelings, okay? And, you know, they all come back, man. This is like a trifecta of everything, right? You got Israel, you got oil, you have Iran, you have the Middle East. Strong feelings, to say the least. But, boy, I would like to see the movie. I mean, those servicemen and women, I can't imagine, right? You know, you're flying 30 hours over, you're flying 30 hours back. The whole mission takes like 20 minutes. And then you just come back to your base in Missouri. And that's it. Yeah. And, you know, it's quite a base in Missouri. I was looking that up. And, you know, MacDill, if we talk about Tampa, MacDill is an amazing base in Tampa, folks. It's CENTCOM. There's about 15,000 people. I was looking it up. 15,000 people in the Tampa area as a part of MacDill Air Force Base, whether you're talking about everybody in there, the servicemen and women, the contractors, peripheral that goes down the line. But just amazing to see how that goes. Hey, I mean, that's a made for the box office big screen movie right there. But hey, we'll see. You don't get to see that stuff happen in terms of just being aware of what's even capable these days. All right, crude trading lower by 18 pennies right now. S&P's positive by 16 right now. Market's chopping around. We jump over the volatility index. 2033. Put this back on a 15-minute. You see the spike overnight. We give up that spike. We're trading at 2033. All right, folks, stay tuned. We'll come back. We'll talk about some other equities. Check out DoorDash, up by 3.3% right now. Uber flat. We're coming right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. Speaking of nuclear energy, we jump over to Constellation Energy. So they're up by 2.8% today. You jump over the volatility. Now they had done the deal with Meta. You trade up to 340. You trade back. They got another deal going on. So they're going to be building a nuclear facility where? In beautiful New York. But guess what? It's going to be nowhere near New York City. Where are they going to put it? They're going to put it somewhere upstate. They'll figure it out. Okay? And this is going to be the battle that goes on, okay? As in, where are you going to put it? Not in my backyard. Everybody wants it, but not in my backyard. And, yeah. So, New York intends to build a large nuclear power facility, the first major new U.S. plant undertaken in more than 15 years. It's going to add at least 1 gigawatt of new nuclear power generation. That's enough to power 1 million homes, okay? They're going to find a site in upstate New York and then figure out the design, right? The utility may pursue the project alone or in partnership with private entities, is what the governor's out there saying. And yeah, you got a new era, man, and it's coming. Nuclear, you're going to need a lot of regulations to make sure everything is safe, as is usually the case, and that's going to be the battle here, right? You have the new decree to speedline regulations. Yes, you can do it. Can you do it safe? Boy, it's going to be a battle, okay? Because people, when you talk about control, right, no control, living next to a nuclear facility, that's a tough one. But nonetheless, it's happening. Constellation up by 2.7% on that news, and yeah, Kamiko's just not stopping, man. Up by 1.6. You trade a little bit lower on Friday, and look at this move you got in Kamiko, man. It's a gap. It's a gap. It's a gap. It's a gap. And boy, could you... Yeah, volume's going to be tough. Now, this is a daily, but we've only done 635,000 shares so far. But boy, if you could ever take out these last 4 days, a nice bullish engulfing, those uranium stocks on fire. On a short-term basis, though, you might need a little consolidation. All right, folks, S&P's in the positive. Quite a day. The day is young, as our man Basil Chapman says, and he's coming up next, folks. Thanks for kicking your Monday off right here with me on the Morning Market Kickoff. S&P is up by 21. Stay tuned for Basil, folks. I'll see you back here at 3 o'clock. Have a great Monday, everybody.